If you're watching this video, then you probably run a property service business like a buyer's agency or an investment advisory firm. And you've tried running ads before, but the real problem for you is you don't know the next step. You don't actually know how to take an ad that may be working and scale it to something that scales your business to 7 figures and beyond. So the real bottleneck for you right now is actually dealing with the numbers and the data. You might not be a data person like me. You might actually be scared at the sight of any numbers. So all these metrics in Meta, like cost per lead, click-through rate, cost per 1,000 impressions, unique click-through rate, all these kind of metrics just scare you, right? If that's you, well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use AI to pretty much replace the need to actually analyze any of your metrics in Meta to help you to scale winners and actually identify ads that are worth keeping and ads that you need to kill. So let's just jump straight into it. So how do you actually read your Meta ads? Well, what I'm going to be walking you through is the system that we've built here at Zenlify, which will help you to actually scale and manage ads. So the first part of this is the Meta ads data layer. So what this is all the metrics and data from all your campaigns and all your ads that you're currently running are gold. They are metrics that you probably haven't even analyzed yet. You're not recognizing patterns that could be saving you hundreds and thousands of dollars, and you're not recognizing which things to pay attention to and which is noise. So this data layer is going to be passed into our AI analyst, which is going to be Claude, guys. Okay, Claude is amazing. If you're not using Claude these days, I don't know what you're doing, because Claude has literally changed the way that I do business, that my clients do business. If you're not using it, well, you need to stick around and learn how to use this thing, because you're going to get left behind. So Claude's going to read all the data, all the signals, and it's going to figure out which one's worth paying attention to and which one is noise. And it's going to give you insights in how your ads are performing, what next steps you need to do. And then we're going to have the decision part, right? Decision part's obviously going to be handled by a human. At this stage, AI can do it, but I don't recommend you actually let AI do it, because there's a bit of a risk there. So kill, hold, or scale. One of 3 decisions that we need to make. So, if you actually stick around, you won't have any stress in terms of understanding what to do next with ads, and you'll have complete clarity on how to run and manage your ads. So before we get into it, you really need to prepare yourself first. I'm going to give you some context. If you haven't run ads before, make sure you buckle in, because boy, is it a journey. Where does everyone go wrong? They go wrong with the mindset when it comes to running ads, because 99% of people don't have the right mindset. They have the wrong mindset. Understand what ads actually needs to learn. It needs 7+ days just to exit the learning phase, and sometimes even more. It depends on the number of actions, and it depends on your cost per lead. So these are things that you need to be aware of. You can't just apply a one-size-fits-all rule and say, okay, I'm going to wait 7 days. I'm going to wait X amount of days. It really depends on what your market is. For property in particular, we're going to be going through exactly what that is and what that looks like. But most people kill their ads before they have a chance to even perform, right? You need to set aside a clear testing budget and then wait. So AI is going to help you with this part where you need to understand how much longer to wait, when to actually kill an ad, because that's what really trips most people up, is they don't actually know when should I actually make the decision, or when should I actually wait longer. Those are the 2 paths that you can potentially take when it comes to running ads. What most people do is they don't wait longer, they make the wrong decision, right? So we're going to avoid that completely by actually setting up the right infrastructure to manage your ads. So really, the 2 metrics that you really need to be aware of are cost per lead and lead quality. Like, really simply put, there are other metrics, of course, but to simplify things, really just pay attention to these 2 metrics, right? Forget the other 47 columns in your ads manager. You need to understand your cost per lead and the lead quality coming through those specific ads. So if your cost per lead's below benchmark, you need to actually pay attention to that, right? So your cost per qualified lead, is the offer matching the audience? A high cost per lead means your offer or targeting is off, right? The next thing is lead quality. So it needs to be a high fit. are these the right people that are actually coming through your ads? You need to actually read the form responses, understand who's coming through. A low quality means your audience is most likely too broad. So I'm going to walk you through what the framework looks like that you need to keep in mind. So when deciding whether to scale your ads, really, you can simply follow this decision tree. So has the ad been running for longer than 7 days? If it's below 7 days, then it's still in the learning phase, guys. It's too early to conclude anything. So most people get way too emotional about ads. They might be running for 3 days and they see that all of a sudden there's no leads and they go, oh my God, I need to stop my ads. That is not what you're going to do, because you understand now the decision framework that you need to use. So even if AI is doing this for you, which I'm going to show you, by the way, I'm going to show you exactly how you don't even need to worry about making this decision. But it's important regardless that you know what the framework is and what the AI is using to base this decision, right? So if it's a no, then the algorithm hasn't optimized your ad yet. You need to hold. If it's a yes, then you need to ask yourself, is the cost per lead below our benchmark? So let's say you have a benchmark of $80. Is the cost per lead below $80, right? You need to compare that to what your benchmark is. And if it's been running for longer than 7 days, it's likely got enough ad spend to have a significant enough number for your cost per lead, right? So it's likely statistically significant. So if it's not, then you need to iterate the offer or you need to buy your audience. So that's when you need to hold, right? If the cost per lead is below your benchmark, then you need to first, then you need to understand your click-through rate. So in combination, have your click-through rate and cost per lead been stable for the last 48 hours? If it has been stable, then you can scale, right? If not, then you need to hold, right? So that's pretty much the decision that you make, right? So if your ad has been running for 7 days, your cost per lead is below your benchmark, and your cost per lead and your click-through rate are holding for 48 hours, that is when you have a winner, and that is when you scale. It's as simple as that. If not, then you need to pause the ad, right? Really, how do you scale? That's the next question. Because the important thing is firstly understanding the data, knowing what decision to make. But then from there, right, when you need to scale an ad, you actually need to understand how to scale an ad. So how you're going to scale an ad is once you've got a winning ad, you need to do these 5 things, a combination, all preferably, but however many you can do. You need to try to come up with a video ad. You need to try and come up with a video ad for that ad. If it's an image ad, if it's a video ad, then you need to come up with an image variant of that, right? That's one way of scaling it. So turn the winning image ad concept into a 15 to 30 second video. Same hook, same offer, same kind of message, right? Don't change much of what the ad already had in it. Next thing is text variants. So you can change your text hooks in your image creatives. Let's say you have an image creative, it has a certain text hook, then you're going to change that around. You're going to try different messaging, different angles. You're going to keep the image ad relatively the same because that's what worked, right? Next thing is element positioning. So you might move the CTA, you might restack the layout, you might have some new elements. You're going to kind of move things around and see whether that impacts the performance of the ad. Next thing is you're going to combine creatives. So let's say you have 2 winning creatives. You might actually merge them together to come up with a winning concept that has the combination of the things that work for those ads. That in itself is a new scaled ad. The next thing is imagery and colors. So you might change the images in the ad. Let's say there's a male, you might swap it out with a female. Let's say the ad, the ad is orange, you might make it red. You might change the colors. These are subtle differences that may make a huge impact in the results. So it's really important once you have a winner, you know how to scale it. So now you know how to scale it, right? Remember, if you have a winner, come back to this, screenshot it, do whatever. Make sure that you come up with a video variant, text variants, element positioning, combined creatives, and your imagery and your colors. Cool. So now we're going to go into something really, really exciting, which for some reason my presentation skipped, which I will go back and show you guys. How do we actually automate this process? This is the very exciting part, guys. Now, in today's day and age, we can automate this entire process of having to manage your ads, the performance of the metrics, using the Meta MCP server that recently was developed by Meta themselves to allow Claude to actually plug into the Facebook and Meta infrastructure to understand the data and gather the data so then it can help you to make intelligent decisions on your ads. And this is an absolute game changer, guys. If you're running ads, I don't care if you're a property business, if you're any business, you need to be using Claude to manage the data for your campaigns. And I'll tell you why. Because humans are emotional. AI is purely data-led. AI doesn't have an attachment to any specific ads, any specific offers. AI is going to read the data and tell you what you need to hear, because the reality is humans are not great at dealing with data, right? So what we want to do is eliminate any of the risk of emotional bias by just letting AI do this. How we're going to build this, I'm going to show you exactly how. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get the link in the description. That's going to be a Meta MCP link, right? Then what you're going to do, step 2, is you're going to head into Claude, right? I'm going to show you what we need to do. So we're going to go into profile, the bottom left. We're going to click on settings. Then what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go into our connectors. Now this is where basically Claude gets access to all your applications. So we're going to give it access to Meta. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down. We're going to hit on create a custom connector. Then what you're going to do is you're going to name it Meta Ads, and you're simply going to paste the link in the description into here. Then when you add it, what it's going to do is it's going to redirect you to Meta, and you're going to select which ad accounts you're going to give it access to, right? So you might have several ad accounts. You're going to select which ad accounts it's going to get access to. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be able to read the data, right? So then when you come back into here, you're going to see Meta Ads, custom, like that. That means you've done it correctly, right? So that's the first step. Now, the second step, once it's connected, is you're going to actually go into Cowork. You're going to create a new project. And then under that project, you're going to create a new chat in Cowork, right? So you're going to create a new task, in Cowork. If you don't know what Cowork is, basically Cowork is your best buddy to create repeated workflows and repeated actions, right? So Cowork's going to help you automate a lot of these tasks and create workflows. So if you think about tools like N8N, where you can combine different actions, different actors, Claude Cowork essentially can do that for you. So we're going to hit Claude Cowork, new chat, and what I'm going to show you is what I did and how it looked. So I'm going to go into projects, ads agent, and this one that I just created before. And guys, it will blow your mind how amazing this is, right? So what I did was, this is what the dashboard looks like on the right. We can go through that together. But what you want to do is you want to say, I want you to help me manage the metrics for my Meta ad account. Can you tell me what ad accounts you have access to, right? So first you're going to ask that. Then what Claude's going to come back with is all the ad accounts that it has access to. Then what you're going to see is you're going to see all the ad accounts. You're going to grab the ad ID and you're going to say, great, for ad account, blah, 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 please help me build a daily workflow which checks the relevant metrics below. And then based on these metrics and rules that we define, I need you to help me to flag ads that I should kill and ads that have enough statistical significance to scale, i.e. your winners, and any valuable insights. First, let's work on the rules that we need to define. Then it's going to actually tell you to input your own rules. So for me, I inputted my cost per lead benchmark. So you're going to need to input a few metrics, few benchmarks, and then what it's going to do, it's going to walk you through and hold your hand in terms of what metrics, what rules to create. And the end outcome is it's going to come up with this amazing looking dashboard here on the right hand side, which you can see. And what this dashboard will show you guys is it's going to be updated every single day at 7 o'clock. It's going to go to Meta. It's going to get all the data. It's going to show you, this is the test campaign that I've been running. It's going to show you your spend. It's going to show you how many leads you got. And it's going to show you that in comparison to your 28-day benchmark, it's going to show you the cost per lead and also the trend in the last 28 days. The cost per mille, or the CPM, it's going to show you the unique click-through rate. And also the beautiful thing here is literally going to flag what ads do you need to kill, what ads do you need to scale, what ads do you need to watch, what ads are healthy, and what ads are in the learning phase. So you're going to see exactly every single day if there's any red lights, if there's anything you need to like pause immediately, it's going to tell you, and you're going to go in and manually pause it. The reason I'm suggesting that you don't allow Claude to take control of your ads is you never know with AI. If you get your ad account banned, it's going to be a disaster. So I would rather not take that risk. I would rather go in there myself, do whatever Claude tells me to do, if it makes sense, and I'll take care of that, right? Scale and then watch which ads you're going to need to watch, right? And then the learning, which ads are in the learning phase, and then all the rules here just so you don't forget. So pretty much, guys, we've been able to generate this live dashboard every single day that you're going to go in, you're going to check which ads need attention, and you can manage the entire thing. This is what we build for our clients to pretty much manage their complete ads so they have visibility over how the ads are performing. So that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you found that valuable, and I hope that has changed the way that you think about ads. And my goal there is that now you don't think the ads are as scary, and you're more confident in running your ads. And that's ultimately what's going to help you to scale your business and take it to the next level. Now, if you've been thinking about running ads, if you want to actually attract more qualified leads to your business, you want to create a new stream of deal flow, and you want to actually reduce dependency on referrals, then my team and I can help you to actually build a client acquisition system that can bring in 5 to 10 qualified booked calls every single week. So if you're looking to scale your buyer's agency to 7 figures through predictable client acquisition systems, hit the link below and apply, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work with you, and we would love to help you. Otherwise, guys, if you found this valuable, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will be back for the next video very, very shortly. We produce videos every single week in this channel, so consider subscribing, and I hope you found value, and I'll see you guys next time.